everybody. Happy Friday to y'all. Going to find myself here really quickly. Okay, we're all here. So who do we have on watching us right now? We've got Miss Darlene. Hi, how are you? We've got Cindy. Good to see you. It's been a great week of crafts. I'm so glad y'all are enjoying this. Linda, good afternoon. Hey, Elizabeth. I'm so glad. I'm hoping, we're all hoping, the gals over in the Simple Treasures Crafters Circle, we really hope that you have enjoyed this week of all these Christmas crafts that we've been doing. I've only been doing them 3 days this week, so I don't know how these gals have done it every single day, but they sure have. And I tell you, there have been a lot of wonderful creative ideas that have come from these ladies. They're on a roll. Hey, Billy. So I'm so glad. I hope y'all have enjoyed it. I can't believe it's Friday. It's the last day of our Christmas in July. Thank you for passing the biscuits. That's what this means right here to my page. It does help us out tremendously when you do that. And on a side note, I've had a couple people message me and tell me that they haven't been seeing me or hearing from me. And they went over to my page and they realized they weren't following me anymore. And so they went ahead and clicked follow and turned on their notifications again. And that's happened to me with a lot of my friends that I follow. So go back and make sure you're following us and, click your notifications and also maybe make us one of your favorite. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Brenda. I'm just so glad. Hey, Labriska, my Eclectic Treasures. Thank you for putting this together, you and Hildy. Appreciate you doing that. Like I said, we've had some awesome crafts that have been created this week. It's hard to really, tell which one's the favorites because there's been so many. The cake that Amanda made was just awesome. Just everybody just outdid themselves, and just really proud to be a part of this group and these ladies. So thank you for the stars, Angie. Appreciate that. And today I haven't announced, I must confess, I need to run the wheel for Wednesday's Amazon gift card. I've been so busy shipping that I haven't done that, and I need to do that. So today I'm going to be putting together some sort of napkin bundle to give to someone for sprinkling today. So just be sure that you sprinkle, and I promise I'll put together some leftover napkins that I have from various bundles, and I think you'll be happy with it. And so that's what I'm giving away today. All right. Hey, June. Hey, Francine. So today I have pinned in the comments a link to my downloadable prints templates, because there's a template in there that you're free to go and I think it's $1.50 to download for this project. Now, a lot of y'all have seen me make the rag trees, but some of you have been messaging me and asking me where the video is. Facebook has taken away our titles and to our videos. Hey, I know the snowman was beautiful. It was. Labisca's right. She said the best way to make sure that your favorite crafters show up in your newsfeed is to interact, comment, like, and love. That's right. And share. That's right. The more that you, even just liking what we've said or what somebody else said, it really does help with the Facebook algorithms. Hey, artists. So a lot of you have asked me that and wanted to know where the video was. So I'm going to just go ahead and do another tree today. All right. So we're going to do a rag tree, and some of you have seen me do this before, and it's a little bit different. The fabrics that I'm going to use that I did bring them in here. We're going to use the homespun fabrics. I got on this kick when I went and found some fabric for the 4th of July, but I love this fabric here. I found all this fabric at Walmart, and I'm really into the primitives. The primitives, I think, are coming back in. I know they're coming back in. And they're a little take of the farmhouse country look. But here's one right here with the burgundy red, barn red check, and then larger check. And then I have the smaller check right here that goes with it, and then I have a solid. So these three right here are what's going into my tree. And I'm having a good day, TJ. Thank you. Is Miss Agnes on? Hello, Agnes. I probably missed you there. So the first time you ever saw me was when I made a rag tree. Well, you've been hanging out with me. I made one 2 years ago when I first started, and then last Christmas in November I did it, and then of course did today too. So we got a sassy sister on here. Yay! Miss Agnes's sassy's on here. So we're going to do a tree today, and there's various bases that you can use. Hobby Lobby sells the little flat in the woodpile section, little bases that you can drill a little hole in and use. I like to use these river birch branches. These are left over from my autumn fabric tree that I offered in my subscription group. Hey, Virginia. And down there you can do messenger, or you can do a group, as long as they don't care that you sprinkle in the group other crafters, or just on your own page. But this is a river birch branch that my husband cut some great big limbs off of our river birch tree, and I had him cut them into 3-inch. They're 3-inch in diameter and 3 inches tall. Now you can use wooden spools for your base. You can use any kind of wood that you can drill a hole in is fine. You can also, I made this last year. This is, I sold my other one, but this is a piece of wood right here. And I took a piece of molding that I found in the molding department of Hobby Lobby, and I painted it. So this is a molding that would normally go on, you know, I don't know what it goes on. It goes around the windows and casings and things like that, and I glued it to it, and I created my own base. But this is really cute, and you can paint them off-white and or whatever, and distress them. But this is the one I made last year, and I glued the little gnomes on there. This fabric here came from Walmart, and it was in a bundle, a Christmas bundle, and I painted a rusty star gray to kind of go with the heathered, you know, it's called heather gray and heather rose colors that are in this. But this is what, and then the gnomes came from Christmas ornaments from Walmart. And and I've got them on the back. But this is one of them I made last year. So that's an alternative too, that you can do for a base. So what you're going to need, guys, is you're going to need a dowel. I use a 3/8 inch in diameter dowel. You can buy a pack of dowels at Dollar General, and it has some 3/8 inch diameter dowels in there. Thank you for passing the biscuits, Diane. Great to see you. I'm doing good, Nina. I'm doing good. Thank you, Patty. So this dowel is 3/8 in diameter, and it's 12 inches long. And what I do is I buy a really long piece of dowel from Home Depot, and then we cut them down, because that long piece of dowel is like 99 cents, or it used to be. Lumber's gone up, but it was 99 cents. And then you just cut up your own dowels, you know. And these make great decorations for table decorations. You can make them different heights, you know, make these shorter. A friend of mine saw me make some, and she did a tree out of ribbon. Several, you know, fabric and ribbon, and she had several different kinds of trees on all the tables at her church for a ladies' Christmas luncheon, and it was just an awesome idea. So these are great for using in vignettes. Like I said, you could do these for Christmas, for fall. This is the one I made year before last, and it's just in your gray tones. All these fabrics came from Walmart, but it's just in your grays, and this is an ornament here from Walmart. And I also painted a wood metal star from Hobby Lobby, the little metal stars that are in the ornament section. And so that's, you know, one like that. And you can do these in all the same color. The buffalo check ones look great, you know, just to do a whole tree and nothing but buffalo check. So I've drilled a hole in this with a 3/8 inch bit, and it'll fit in there really snug. It really does, because this is a 3/8 inch dowel. And I don't think it'll go anywhere, but I'm going to go ahead and just put some glue down in here, just to be on the safe side, just to keep it from moving. And I'm just going to make sure that the dowel is straight all the way around. And it looks like it is. You would love a gray tree but wouldn't have thought of it. Yeah, I mean, does that not scream farmhouse to you? You know, and I've got the word, it says Joyful Noel on there. And really, you don't have to put that on there. This could be left out all year long. You can do something different at the top, some pretty berries, or, you know, a rattan little ball, or just anything. You know, you use your imagination of what you could do. But this could be left out year-round in one of your vignettes easily. And that's why I made it. I wanted a neutral tree for, you know, to show y'all what y'all could do. But that's my farmhouse one there. So I've got that glued on now. So now what you're going to do, and that's where my template comes in. If you want to click on that link that's pinned in the comments, I have a pattern for the template for the strips. Instead of using you know, your ruler and cutting out your, you know, your width of your strips and ripping them and cutting them, I have a template, and it gives you the measurements, and that you can cut out the little pattern and then use it to cut out your fabric and rip it. But you're going to be using, let me close my door a minute. Hold on a minute. My husband's on the phone. Get that. Sorry, guys. You can use these, anyway, so these are, what you're going to use is you're going to use 10-inch strips. So there'll be 10 strips that are cut to 10 inches long. You're going to use 10 9-inch strips that are cut to 9 inches. You're going to use 10 8-inch strips cut to 8 inches long, 10 7-inch strips, and then you're going to use 20 6-inch strips, and that's all on that template. And it's just basically a pattern, you know, that you can use instead of measuring out with your ruler. And so that's over there in my store. If you would like to download that pattern, it's there for you. Thank you for sprinkling, guys. I appreciate that. Let's see. Am I missing anything here? I hope not. Y'all welcome anybody that's new. I appreciate you doing that for me, and I'll go back after the live and respond to you, all of you, but especially the new ones. But hey, Amanda from Amanda Made, she's on next after me. It's good to see you, my friend. So we're going to start off with the 10-inch strips, and these are different colors of fabric, you know, as you can see, and so, but they still equal out to 10 strips. So what I've done is I think I did 3 of one and 3 of another, and then 4, just as long as you've got 10 strips of fabric. Does that make sense? Karen, we're glad you caught us live, and yes, it's our last day of Christmas in July. It sure is. What are the width of the strips? It's on that little downloadable too, but they're anywhere from 1 inch to 1 1/4 inches. That's just your preference of what you want to do. And these aren't exact. I mean, I was cutting these out yesterday, and they're not exact, but it doesn't matter because you're going to be tying them on. So they're 10 inches long, and then you got 10 9-inch ones, 10 8-inch ones, 10 7-inch, and then 20 6-inch. And then they're anywhere from 1 inch to 1 1/4 inches wide. And the reason I'm doing 20 6-inch ones is because the way I learned how to do it, you did 10 6-inch ones, and then you did 10 5-inch. But the 5-inch ones are very difficult for me to tie. So even the 6-inch ones are. So I do 20 6-inch, and then what I end up doing is trimming them a little bit here at the top to kind of keep the integrity of the shape of the tree. All right, so thank you, Virginia. And really, this tree can be left up year round too. So what you do is you begin by tying a strip. You don't have to tie it in a knot. You just take one of these pieces of fabric here, strips of fabric, the 10-inch ones, and you just tie it on, just like that, okay, just one time. So I've got it tied on, just like that. And then I'm going to take a different fabric here, just a different color one, and then I'm going to go the opposite direction, okay, so can y'all see that? So I'm going to tie this one the opposite direction. And that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be alternating. And so I didn't do one ahead of time part way So I hope this doesn't get too boring. We can just chat, you know, and go from there. So see how I've done it two different ways? I've got one going one way and then one tied the other. Can you see that? Okay, so now let's get our smaller check one here, and we will tie it on too. What are you wondering? How long was your dowel stick? Okay, I said it in the beginning, I'm sorry. My dowel is 12 inches long, and it's 3/8 inch diameter. So 12-inch dowel, 3/8 inch diameter, okay? So, so now I'm going to tie on another one, and we're just going to go in a different direction with this one too. So we'll just have it go this way, just like that. And so then the next one will go the other way. So we're going to just continue to tie these on, and they want to stick together here, and get these tied on. So it really is a relaxing when you're not doing a live. It's really relaxing. You can sit there at your table or in the floor as long as you can get back up. So I've got one going that way, and I'm going to have one going this way again. So that's what I'm doing so far. I've just got them going alternating different directions. And let's do another solid color here. And I'll show you too, as we progress, you want to be pushing these down. And if you see that you want one going one way and one another, just move them. I mean, you can move these around very easily. Just twist them around and get them the way you like. Obviously, the easiest way to do this would be to do all one color. That way you don't have to worry about it. Hey, Deidre. Glad to see you on. Okay, so I'll just have that one going that way. And this is my last one of this one. So we'll put that one this way. How about that? We've got a little space right there that I need to fill in. And you can twist these around and do the same thing. But you always want to make sure that you've got your spaces filled in. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out, guys. But as you're doing this, you want to push down too. You want to just continue to push down. And I will probably trim some of this off the bottom. But I went ahead, I even saw a pattern that said 11 inches. Now maybe their dowel was a lot taller, but that's a lot. That's, so I'll trim this off, and when I get finished this afternoon. So but you just want to constantly alternate the direction that you're going with this. And so we're continuing to tie the 10-inch strips right now. I've got one more of the 10-inch right here. And you can fool with this and get it, however you want to do it. Just have your fabrics just showing, turning them and showing them, and then pushing down. So see, this is what we've got so far. Just really pretty. I like the colors of these. I really do. So now we're going to take the 9-inch strips. So I've got 10 9-inch. Hey, Tammy, we're just doing a fabric tree, a rag tree. And if you just got on, we're using a dowel that's 12 inches long. And it's 3/8 in diameter, and I've glued it into a little hole that I drilled into my birch bark base here that I cut from our front yard. And so we're doing that. And let's see, so I began with 10 10-inch strips. They were 10 inches long, and there's 10 of them. Now we're going to do 10 9-inch strips. They're cut into 9-inch lengths. And I have a link down at the bottom if you guys care to go over and download the pattern for this. That way it just kind of, and it gives you the measurements on there, okay? It gives you the measurements. 10 10-inch, 10 9/8 inches, 10 8 inches, 10 7-inch strips, and then 20 6-inch strips. All right, so let's get one of these going here. And it's not going to take me that long, guys. It really isn't. And then we're going to make it pretty. We're going to do something a little bit different with this tree. but we're going to make it pretty. So I think I'm going to go back. Well, no, let's see. We'll do one of these little check ones here. And thank y'all for passing the biscuits. I appreciate y'all doing that. Awesome. So let me see which way I need to turn this one now. Okay, and you just want to continue to alternate and to continue to push down, okay? So let's get, I did that one that way, so let's do this one the opposite way. Make sure to add title to this video now. I will. Thank you, Agnes. I'll do that. There was a description in there, but not a title to it. But every time I had everything all titled, and all those titles just disappeared. And so now you go on my Facebook page and you click under video, and you see all these videos from the last 2 years, but there's hardly any of them have a title. So we're just alternating. We're just alternating our strips. But I will do that, thank you. And we'll see if it stays, Agnes. We'll see if we keep it. I don't want to have to go into my computer and do it, but I may have to. I don't know what happened to the titles, but I wasn't the only one of the creators that had that happen to them. So I'm just alternating different fabrics here. I've been known to do 5 fabrics. This little tree over here that I'll show you again. It's, just keep pushing down. This little tree here has 5 different fabrics, and those were a fabric, they were a quarter bundle from Walmart. And they have these out now, different ones. So you might want to check your Walmart or your favorite craft store, Hobby Lobby, and see if they've gotten some fabric in, Christmas fabric that you can use. This fabric, this homespun fabric, is thinner and floppier, whereas this fabric here is more of a fleece or a flannel, so it wants to stick up a little bit better. But they're all different. This one here is curling on me, which I love, and it's a thinner fabric. So all right, let's see. Let's do one more. Let's see how many more we got these. 3 more of these 9-inch strips here. So see where I've got that right there? I need to either turn something around or push it down and then just have one going in opposite direction. So easily fix them. You can turn them every which way you want. And I'm going to retie that one. It's a little bit off. And then you can trim them up too if you want to. If you have some that are sticking out more than others that bother you or whatever, you can trim them up. But these are rag trees, and so they're supposed to look primitive, So let's see. We'll put this one here. Okay, let's see. I made one of these when you taught us before. Mine is red plaid. You still have it out. You still have it out, Cindy? Good. Awesome. Yeah, there a lot of these you can leave out. You sure can. I did, like I said, I did an autumn craft kit tree for our subscription group, and we a lot of them I think leave theirs out because they were neutral autumn colors. They weren't bright orange, and they were creams and browns and rust, those colors. So those were colors that you could leave out obviously throughout fall, but some of them had those colors anyway in their house. So you could definitely leave them out, and this one could be left out if you use colors like this. These are homespun colors, and they they're just pretty. They come in greens, they come in blues, they come in browns, but you just keep pushing it down as you tie and having them go different directions. Okay, so we've put the 10-inch strips on, and we've put the 10 9-inch strips on. So now we're going to go to the 8-inch strips. And like I said, these are 3 pieces of different fabrics, and so I've just cut them up. Some are 3 and one's 4, just to make 10 strips. Does that make sense to y'all? So I've got, let's see, 3 here and 4 of the check, I think, and then 3 of the kind of a burgundy color, but a light mauve burgundy, whatever it is. Okay, that's fine, Patty Faye. All right, so let's see. What do I want to put on here? Let's do a small check. And these are my 8-inch strips now. There's 10 of these 8-inch strips. And you can cut these or you can rip them. Some of these, most of these I ripped because I was really pushing for time. But I like when I rip them because that gives that fabric the frayed edge. And that always looks nice. I'll make sure I've got them separated here. So I've got one going that way. So let's get another one going this way. But haven't y'all, I mean, I don't want to ask y'all for a favorite. So I don't want my feelings hurt. But I know y'all have had some favorites. But haven't the crafts been just awesome? They really have. I'm just, these gals have just amazed me. How the creativity that has come. Especially, we talk in our group, in our chat group together, the main girls, and we, it's funny because they'll say, do you have any idea what you're making? No. Do you have any idea? No. And, you know, so we kind of help each other out. They have. I haven't been on that much this week because I've been so incredibly busy. But you're just alternating your fabric. That's all you're doing. And, but it's funny because what they whip out for not knowing what they're going to do is simply amazing. They have outdone themselves, Gail, haven't they? They really have. So I'm just continuing to tie these on. I'm on my 8-inch strips right now. And we are tying these on just in opposite directions. Just, you know. And keep pushing down as you go, okay? Just keep pushing. And let's see. So now I need a little burgundy one or whatever color this is. I don't know what y'all call this. Or, eggplant color maybe? Maybe it's eggplant. It's what, 30 what? 3/8? Yes. Thank you for answering. The dowel is 12 inches long. And the diameter of the dowel is 3/8 of an inch. I buy my dowels, long pieces of dowel from Home Depot. I'm sure Lowe's has them, and then we cut them. And they're much more cost effective to do it that way. And they may even cut them for you. You can buy these at a package of them at Dollar General, I know. And I mean, Hobby Lobby and Michael's have the dowels, and they have longer ones that you still may have to cut, but they do have them. But Dollar General sells a package of them over in their little craft section, and they come with different diameter dowels. I'll have a few of each in there, and the 3/8 diameter dowels are in there, and they're already cut. They're already 12 inches long, so if you don't have anybody to cut those, that might work. I have not made one yet. Oh, good, Suki. I know some of you have seen me do it, but I sincerely have had so many of y'all ask me, see, I'm turning that one that way, you know, for me to ask me to do these. And so, you know, like, do you have a video on these? And so I thought, you know, let's just go ahead and do one. Just do it. I do another one. And just continue to push down, just like that. And I've got my last one of my 8-inch strips here. And I tend to, you know, forget which direction I'm going. So you just got to turn your dowel around and look, kind of eyeball it. But that's what we've got so far. So it's starting to look like a tree because you've got your 10 inches or longer, and then your 9-inch, and then your 8-inch are going. So now we're going to work on our 7-inch. And I got to get busy on here because I know I've got about 15-20 minutes to get these tied on, but I want to show you how to decorate them. So let's get these tied on really quickly here. But it's relaxing. You guys can sit down and watch a Hallmark movie, Christmas movie. They're on right now. Christmas in July is playing on Hallmark. Or just one of your favorite shows that y'all like to watch. I don't know what y'all like to watch, but just do that. You know, just sit down and tie these on. Not tie one on, tie these on. And, you know, while you're watching TV, and the time will go by very quickly. And you just continue to push down. So let's get this piece of fabric here now. So I've got that one going that way. So let's have this one maybe, let's see, going which way I want it to go here. So I know I'm missing a lot of comments. And if you're new, please let me know you're new. I will welcome you when I get off of here and I get a chance to go back and look at my comments. I will definitely be welcoming you. Appreciate you being here. I'm Yvonne, by the way, Southern Designs and Finds. How many of each strip? Joyce, I have a link down here to my printable that you can download, but it's and it has a little pattern and it has the amount on there. But it's 10 strips that are cut 10 inches, so 10 10-inch strips, 10 9-inch strips, 10 8-inch strips, 10 7-inch strips, and then you're going to do 20 6-inch strips. And the strips are anywhere from 1 inch to 1.25 inches wide. Does that help? I hope. Oh, what now? Let's see. Oh, yes, Carol. This was Labriska's idea and Hildy's to do the event. Thank them. I mean, we're just participating. We're just along for the ride. And that was their idea. Just like we did last year. We did our 12 days of Christmas. I hope y'all enjoyed that. And if you aren't in our Simple Treasures Crafters group, Simple Treasures Crafters group, which I do not have the link here to post, maybe one of my friends does, join that group because all of our videos are saved in that group. So you can go back and watch last year's Christmas events. All our videos are there from all of our events. And so, let's see, let's do that one. That was quite a bit shorter too. So they're all on there, and I would highly suggest they're there for you to watch. And let me get that one. Anytime, they're always there. And hey, Mary, and the group is free, okay? We don't charge for you to be in that group. We don't charge for you to be able to watch those videos. The group is free to join, and those videos are there for you guys to watch at your leisure anytime you want, okay? So, so I've got the check, that check one on, so let's do, let me see, are they stuck together? Yeah. So let's do another one. And these are my 7-inch strips, and then we're going to get to the 6-inch ones. So I've got to hurry because it just takes time. Normally I would have these done partially, have one partially done for you and then continue on, show you how to do it in the beginning, and then continue on with one that's already done just to save time. But I didn't do that, so I'm thinking we'll be fine. Okay, so let's put this one on now. I think I'll do the small check one. Have it going this way. Do you use the 6-inch on the top? I do. What I was saying in the beginning is, tie that one. What I said in the beginning is, they tell you to use 5-inch strips for the top. I have a really hard time tying the 5-inch strips, so I do 26-inch strips, and then I go back and I trim my strips, just a little shorter, just to keep the integrity of the tree, and make sure you're pushing these down. And that's just what I do. And you can do it however way you want, but I find it easier to tie the 6-inch. The 6-inch are a little tight, harder to tie along as it So I've tried it, trust me, and it's not fun. Now that's just me, and you may not have any problem with that. I'm 65 years old, and I don't think I have arthritis, but I guess my dexterity is just not like what it used to be, or either my patience. It could be my patience. So, okay, so I've got my 10 10-inch strips on here, my 10 9-inch, my 10 8-inch, and my 10 7. So now we're going to the 6-inch ones. Is somebody having a birthday? Who's having a birthday? I'm late. I'm having what? Melissa, you're having birthday cake? Oh, for your 12-year-old grandson's birthday. Well, happy birthday to him. Happy birthday. All right. Good. They're great for gifts, Robbie. They are awesome for gifts. They're awesome for your parents or family members that may be in an assisted living or in a small apartment that doesn't have a lot of room. They're excellent for that. So I've got 20 6-inch strips. So let's get those on now. And sometimes I don't even have to use all 20. But as you're going to see, they're a little harder to tie. They really are. So, okay, so we got that one on. Let's do another little check one here, opposite direction. And, you know, I go back and I trim my tree up anyway, you know, because I don't get all these tied evenly as it is. So, I go back and I tie them. I'll trim them up a little bit, and I always trim the bottom ones off so that you can see some of the pretty base that's on there. So, okay, so we've got that one. So let's do another eggplant color. Make sure they're not stuck. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Janet. Yes, Labrisca, for the nursing homes, I know they want to receive a tree and be in the Christmas spirit, but you know, sometimes they won't allow you to bring in trees with lights or trees that have ornaments and things like that on there that could break and hurt them, and you know, things like that, and they just don't have the room. So this is really a good way to bring in a little Christmas cheer, put some whatever their favorite colors are, or something to go in their room that they could even leave up. But this would be great to put on their dresser or their chest of drawers, you know, something like that. See, I'm already having trouble doing these. So I can't imagine tying the 5-inch ones. I've tried, and just doesn't work for me. Okay, so let's get a small check one here. Get these tied on. Oh, thank you for passing the biscuits, guys. Appreciate you doing that. It helps. It helps to get us out there and get our numbers up, and getting y'all to engage with us really helps. And that, you know, the more you engage with us, like Labrisca said, by commenting, by liking, that's going to get us noticed too. Facebook's going to go say, you know, think, okay, they're interested in this gal's page, so I'll go ahead and push it through their feed more often. So, but also double check that you're following us, because like I said, some of mine messaged me this week, and she said if it wasn't for your text message, I wouldn't have known, you know, that you were live. So she's been missing me. She said, I just haven't been seeing you. And so she got the text message, and she said, you know, I'm gonna go check. And sure enough, she was not following me anymore. And that's been the case for me. So I'm just continuing to alternate these different directions. So she, you know, I've noticed that myself. I think I'm still following Labrisca, but I was not following Hildy anymore. And I had to click to follow her again and get her notifications. And of course, another way to eliminate, you know, not getting your notifications is to join our text list. Some of us that have our texting list, and feel free to do that. my texting number is right here, right here. I never can remember it, but that's my number, 706-528-6678, and text the word y'all. And that will guarantee you to be able to get my notifications that I'm going live. And I wish people a happy birthday. You know, when I get a message on my texting service that somebody's having a birthday, I message them, but I don't really do much other than, and I really haven't done anything about notifying anybody about things in my store. I just really text you when I'm going live. So I have one for my Southern Designs and Finds, and then I have one community for my subscription group, because not everybody is getting notifications in our subscription group, and I haven't seen some of the ladies in weeks. They're not watching our videos, they're not commenting, and I'm really kind of getting concerned. So maybe they're watching replay, but they're not saying that they're watching replay. So the texting service really does help. I made, what did you do? You made a red, white, and blue one. Also fall ones, all the holidays, I love them. Yeah, I mean, I did a fall napkin craft kit, and I may put together another one. But this time, I'm not going to cut out the strips and rip the strips. That about did me in. What I will do is just send the fabric. So I am thinking seriously about doing that. And I mean, and I may even do one like this, these colors. I'm not sure how many of you would be interested in these colors for the homespun one, but I love these colors. They're just really soothing, and I love them. All right, so I'm almost done here. I hope normally I don't have enough. I mean, I have too much, so I may have to move these up a little bit and not squish them down so much. So I think it has to do with the type of fabric you're using. So, and I may have accidentally put a couple of these on at the same time. So, where did you get the fabric, Susan? I got this fabric from Walmart. They have a homespun collection. They've got some green and ivory ones, and really pretty. Yeah, I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna move them all up a little bit, just a little bit, not a whole lot, but maybe I pushed them down too much. But I'm gonna move them up a little bit because I've only got a few more to tie, so I'll just slide them up a little bit. Okay. Which is a good thing because we need to decorate it. We'll probably run in, I don't know if I'll get finished by 3:50, but I will get finished before 4. So definitely will get finished before 4. And I may have to go back and trim these up after the live, but I'm going to trim these at the top up a little bit just to make them more like the 5-inch strips would be, just to kind of give the integrity of the tree, keep the integrity of the tree. So let me push some of these up here, pull them up. Let me see, get these pulled up a little bit. This is really cute. So I've got one more. I don't know how I did that, but I've got some extra I can cut, or that are already cut. But normally I have extra left over. So maybe some of these I didn't cut quite as wide or something like that. Who knows? But let's see. Let me get these pushed up a little bit. There we go. So a little bit tighter. Okay. I might not have to cut these as much actually, which is probably pretty good. All right, so here we go. And you're just going to want to find your prettiest side of your tree. But that's basically it. You're going to fluff it and you're going to trim it, you know, however way you want. Let's get this trimmed up a little bit. And just, but you can see it's already taken shape. And I cut my fabric at a little bit of an angle. You don't have to, but I do cut it a little bit. So I'm just cutting it a little shorter up here, just because they were 6-inch strips and they needed to be 5. But this is much easier for me to cut these strips like this than to try to tie on these strips. So, but you can fool with them, and but see, it's already taken shape. It really is, just like that. And let's see here. So this is really the basis of your tree right here, and I like the rustic look of it. And you know, you just gotta fool with it, and I just don't have time to fool with it right now. But to get it to where you want the fabric showing, certain pieces, maybe you've got 2 pieces of the same fabric that are too close together, but that's what you're dealing with right here. So thank you. I like the rustic look too. I really do. So I'm gonna just trim off some of the bottom here, and you can have it hanging down, no problem. But I like for some of the bark to show. So I just trim it up, and you know, and it's going to, you know, curl and do all those little cute funky things that's going to happen with it. But that's our tree, and I'm just going to look and see. I need to fool with the back, but I don't have time to do that. So I'm going to decorate it really quickly, okay? And then I'll fool with it after the live and get a picture out for everybody. But I think we'll just go with this being the pretty side right here. So what you could do is you can take these, just like I have in the past. Hobby Lobby in the Christmas section sells these rusted stars. You can put one of those on the top. I would cut a few more strips of fabric and put those on there. You could use those. You can use the rusted stars that are from Hobby Lobby that you glue on. And I've taken a little popsicle stick. That's what I did back here. I took a popsicle stick and glued it on and used E6000 with that. And you could even take these little ornaments here that are deer if you wanted to. Those came from Hobby Lobby, I think. And glue a little deer on there. So there's various things that you can do. Now what I've done is I'm just going to take some raffia, and I'm going to go back, guys, and untie on a few more extra strips of fabric that I have just to get it to go all the way to the top. But I'm going to glue this on just like that, and I'm going to let it just kind of cascade. So this really does not scream Christmas, in my opinion. And I'm just going to let this raffia cascade down just like that. And if you want if this is going to be showing all around, you know, on a table, like in the middle of a centerpiece, if you had several of these or candles, I would put one on the other side too, just like that. Just glue it to the back. Now what I'm going to use now is these little rusted stars that I found from Factory Direct. And they're just small little rusted primitive stars. And I'm going to glue one of those onto the center of this raffia right there. Just like that. But isn't that sweet? So, I mean, I can shorten that if I want to, tame it down, but it's just a little different look. And then what I ended up doing is I have some jingle bells here that I found at the Dollar Tree, just like that. And I cinnamonified them. Is that a word? Cinnamonified them? You have the worst internet. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I keep freezing. I'm sorry. What was the base? My base was a river birch bark branch that I cut from a tree. We had some limbs that needed to be cut, and it was 3 inches high and 3 inches in diameter. And y'all feel free to go and download the little pattern for the tree with the strips. It gives you the measurements, and it's just, you cut it out, and that way you've got your little template. So I've got those, and then I have these little jingle bells now that I I Mod Podged and put some cinnamon on them right here. So see what a difference. I mean, you know, I rusted mine up. So I cinnamonified them. So I'm going to just tie a knot on these and various lengths and glue those on if I have time to do it. Now when I'm finished, you're going to go watch Miss Amanda Made. She's going to be up next. I'll be sharing her into the Simple Treasures crafting group and have her going. But I was thinking, and I may just have to play around with this after the live because I really don't have time, but I'm thinking about, you know, just suspending 3 of them just in varying heights right there. So that's kind of what my thought was on that, was just suspending them various ways. They're not going to show up a whole lot on the camera, but it just gives you that rusty look to it, you know, that primitive farmhouse look. But I'm thinking about doing that. Thank you. And just, you know, gluing the little knots on there and just suspending them, 3 of them in different heights. But I'll do that later because I just don't have the time right now to do it. Another thing that you could do are, I got these from Hobby Lobby in a package. They're twig stars. You could omit the raffia and just do a twig star at the top. It would be really sweet to do. It kind of blends in with the raffia. So that's an idea too. And I also have, I always put on these, I always put an ornament that I get from Walmart hanging down. Like that one said Joy. It's kind of my signature. And then this one said Joyous Noel. And I found these at Walmart last year and I never used them. So I'm gonna glue one of those on there too. And just kind of have it coming off the side. So I'll probably, I don't know, I'll probably use maybe this one right here that has the little Christmas tree on there. And that's going to be hanging just off to the side somewhere. And it's not overly going to show up because of the colors, but I still think it looks really rustic. And I may change my mind, but it blends in nicely, I think. Blends in. Oh, thank you. You made one last year? Oh, I'm glad you like it. So this is just for the ones that keep asking me to make these again. And I hope it was informative. I hope it helped, you know, those of you refresh your memory and, you know, trim it up, fluff it up, move it around however you want. You could take it and do it upside down and shake it. But I'll tame the raffia down a little bit, but I like it. I think having that hanging down really is something different. So thank you for being here. This was my last project for Christmas in July. Here's the various ones I've done. I've sold a lot, guys, that I've made. But this is just some that I've done. And, you know, I glued little gnomes in there. And so it gives you various ideas of what you can do with these. So right after me is Amanda Made. So go get your favorite beverage, go to the bathroom, whatever you've got to do, and get ready to refresh the page in the group. And she'll be on. I'll be sharing her, or go over to her page, Amanda Made, and she's up next. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being with us all this week. I will go back and I will check the comments and put you in a wheel, those of you that said you sprinkled. And I will be sending out a napkin bundle, and I will announce that on my page who the winner is for that. All right, guys, y'all have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you next week. God bless. Bye-bye.